What is up, YouTube? My name is Bella. You might know me as OnlyJayus, and I want you to tell me your dreams. Not because I can make them true or anything like that. I just want to analyze them. I want to dig deep into your guys' subconscious mind and try to figure out what it is they're trying to tell you. Because that's all dreams are. They're literally just your brain trying to tell you things that you already know because it's your brain, but you don't know because we're fucking stupid little monkey people, you know? I've had some wild dreams lately, especially since I started working on dream recall because I'm trying to get better at lucid dreaming. And from all that, I've gotten a lot of insight on what dreams mean. And because of that, I've learned a lot about myself. And I just want to help you guys understand yourselves as much as I'm trying to understand myself. Okay. So over on @GetHorizontal, which is my third TikTok page where I talk a lot about sleep, I asked you guys to tell me your weirdest dream. Not a lot of people did. So I threw up a community poll thing here on YouTube and I got a lot more submissions. So this should be really fun. I should put down this pen because it's going to be distracting just throwing it all around everywhere. Before we start, make sure you drop a like, subscribe if you're new. We're almost at 5 million subscribers, which is halfway to that diamond play button, which is really cool. And also, if you want to be in the next video where I figured out you guys' dreams, make sure you submit a video telling me a dream to the @GetHorizontal page. That's probably your best bet to get into the video. If you just want a chance and not a guarantee, let me know that in the comments, the dream. I would love to hear about it. Alright, we're gonna start with the video submissions. Where'd my phone go? I think the purpose, yeah. Alright. So let me just pull up the video. Okay, so up first we got that one trans kid. Pitch this and let me know what the weirdest dream you remember having was, because I've been getting into dream meetings lately.
Okay, so basically, I died of cancer, but I was slowly dying, so my parents were comforting me.
Okay, so death in dreams typically mean that you're anticipating a new beginning or a transformation in your life. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's giving up old habits and such. But cancer symbolizes damage, stress, burden. Something in your life has become so unmanageable and it's poisoning your existence to the point where your life has changed in some way, or you're anticipating it because that's what the death symbolizes. And the fact that it's happening slowly can mean that this burden or stress has started, it started out innocently, and it's grown to this unnatural size in your life. If I'm right, okay. Dreams have a very personal meaning for each and every person, so just take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. This is just my own interpretation of it. If what I'm saying resonates, I would say go and try to figure out what it is in your life that has grown to this unhealthy size and try to take care of it immediately, because it sounds like it's an issue. And the fact that your parents were there in your dream too, trying to comfort you, means that you're looking for them for some sort of wisdom or guidance or journey, even if it's just subconsciously. It's really up to you though to know exactly what this is. So do some soul searching. That one trans kid. I hope it helps though. Alright, next we got Kazin, the trans guy. Pitch this and let me know what the weirdest dream you remember having was, because I've been getting into dream meetings lately.
Okay, so I had this really weird dream where I was with two of my best friends that mean the absolute world to me. And, I see one at school all the time, but I talk to one online, whatnot, all that. And I finally got to meet this other person in real life, and we were all just hanging out and chilling, and then all of a sudden, my best friend that I go to school with, disappears, and, I woke up, and I still, I struggle to find out what it means. I don't know what it means, and I'm so confused. They just disappeared from the dream, and it seemed they disappeared from my life, and all this other stuff, and I've been, trying to figure out what it means, but I found no answers, so I really hope you can help me figure this out. Love you loads, I got your back always.
Alright, okay. So, the two friends in your dream may not even be about your friends necessarily. It's probably a representation of the different aspects of yourself in your social life, in your waking life. The friends from your school could symbolize your past. And the friend you met online could represent like a present or future. Again, not necessarily about them, it's all you. Everything is a projection of yourself. Okay, and so the fact that the friend from school disappeared from your dream while you were talking to this online friend suggests to me, at least, that you're currently more focused on your present and future relationships and activities rather than your past, which isn't even like a bad thing. You know, you may feel a stronger connection to this friend online. I know that I've had that happen before. Or you may just be more interested in exploring like new experiences and opportunities. Another idea I have about that is the disappearance of your friend from your school could symbolize a fear of losing touch with your past. Like, it's one or two things. You're like more excited to look forward, and even at the same time, like you could just be scared of losing the past and losing the important relationships from your past. You may be worried about leaving behind old friends, losing touch with those important memories. Just overall, this dream, from my own understanding, kind of sounds like you're reflecting on your current thoughts and feelings about your relationships and social connections, and it might be helpful to consider like how that theme applies in your waking life. Because again, I'm just a stranger on the internet that kind of knows about dream meanings. This, like, if it resonates with you, cool. Try to figure that out. It's definitely something that you can take action towards to feel more connected and fulfilled in your relationships. All right, I didn't know I had so many trans fans, but honestly, it makes sense because fucking look at me. All right, next we got Mariana Schultz Zoo 6. I'm so sorry if I did not pronounce your name right. I'm probably gonna do that again. Just let me know what the weirdest dream you remember having was.
Okay, so I had this dream years ago. I think I've had it twice. And it involved a wiener dog with ice jewelry and an ice crown. I'm guessing he was the Ice King. And I was walking around an ice castle, and I got stuck at a dead end, and he started attacking me. And there was like a nuclear siren going off, and that's about the point where I woke up. So, naturally, I don't remember anything after that, so either I'm crazy, or I don't know, just please tell me what it means.
Okay, ice, after doing a little bit of research on it, in dreams usually symbolizes frozen emotions, or a natural flow in your life has kind of come to a standstill. Maybe you're scared about sharing your feelings, because dogs usually mean like unconditional love and acceptance, but the dog attacked you. So there's some conflict there. And the ice castle, okay, you're in your dream, it could symbolize that your emotional state, or like there's mental barriers. You're in an ice castle. And the fact that you're walking through the castle suggests that you're trying to explore, overcome those barriers in some way. The wiener dog wearing a crown could represent like a perceived threat or challenge in your waking life, but like the fact that it's wearing a crown could mean that the threat is an authority figure, like with power or some leadership. The nuclear siren symbolizes that there's a sense of urgency or impending danger, and relating that to the specific situation that you're thinking of while I'm talking to you about this, it's probably just coming from a general stress or anxiety. Also, you might just be watching a lot of Adventure Time, but it's a good show. I don't know. I would say maybe just reflect on your current thoughts and feelings about facing challenges and threats, and it might be helpful to consider what specific situation in your relationship or your life could be causing those feelings, whether or not there's any changes in your actions or thoughts, just to like help you feel more control and empowered in your life. Those were the only video submissions I got, so thank you to those 3 people. I love you so much. Again, if you want to be in next week's video, send me a video submission. Right now, we're going to go into the written text portion. People like wrote out their dreams for me, which was, honestly, I really appreciate it. So, yo, let's get into that.
At Isaiah Akagurn 7083. Had a dream a few weeks after my dog passed away. It was me and him laying on the floor together, surrounded by darkness, with me only being able to see him. It was one of those dreams where I could feel, see, and smell everything. While on the floor with my dog, I could feel his fur as it was when he passed, I could smell his scent, I could see his face, I even recognized the floor as my living room carpet floor, which was where I last saw him. It was a happy yet sad moment of me being able to interact with him one last time. I wanted to just lay there forever with him. It's been about a month since he passed, and I'm doing better now.
First of all, I'm really sorry for your loss. That sucks. I love my dog so much. I'm constantly thinking about like what's going to happen when they die. And I probably think about it too much. Like as I'm recording this right now, Astra's literally underneath my desk. Let's see if I can show you. There he is. He's just hanging out underneath. You dreaming about your dog after he passed away may just be a reflection of your emotions about his death, and the darkness that surrounds you and your dog may represent like the void and emptiness that you're probably feeling. But the fact that you like could see and feel and smell everything indicates that you were able to reconnect with your dog and experience a sense of comfort and closure from the dream. Like, it sounds like it was a really vivid thing that happened. The fact that like you recognize the floor in your living room carpet, you're able to interact with your dog in a familiar setting suggests that your subconscious mind is just trying to help you process what happened and like grieve, which honestly sounds like healthy. I'm glad like it was like kind of like a good dream for you, you know, there's a sense of closure there. It just sounds like you really love your dog. There's a desire to hold on to memories, of course, and the feelings associated with him. It may just be, like, this dream may just be a way for your subconscious mind to help you work through it, you know, find comfort in the memories and moments that you share together.
At Trenchcoat993. This isn't really recent, but it was one of the most vivid that I had. I was hanging out with my friend who had passed away years ago at my apartment. We talked about a myriad of things as if we were catching up. We watched some anime and other movies much like we did when she and I last hung out, and we laughed at all sorts of things. Right before I woke up, there was a knock on the door. She then looked at me, and the last thing I heard in the dream was, "I have to go now, I love you." When I woke up, I felt as if a dark cloud had been lifted. I will never forget this one.
I'm sorry for your loss too, you guys. Oh, wow. So, again, this is just my own interpretation of what you guys are telling me, but the dream of you spending time with your friend who passed away sounds like a desire to reconnect with them, preserve memories and emotions. Like your dreaming is like literally just your brain trying to process things. And so it sounds like you're trying to process your friend, you know? The fact that you watch animes and other movies together, you got to laugh together, like just like you did when she was alive, suggests that you're holding on to the happy memories, which is good. The knock at the door at the end represents, at least in my own opinion, that the end of the time that you guys spent together, that didn't make any sense. I'm so sorry. Her saying, like, "I have to go now, I love you," may just be your subconscious trying to, like, help you find closure and come to terms with your friend passing. Like, you're feeling a lot of loss, obviously. Like, you're longing for your friend. Your subconscious mind is just trying to help you get through that with comforting memories and emotions with friendship. And I'm honestly, like, I'm glad that you had that dream, because it sounds like your brain is doing its normal brain thing, helping you move along the right way, you know? Our minds are just there to help us process. I say process a lot, I'm really sorry about that. To make sense of our experiences and emotions.
At TotalistandK1971. Once had a dream where one of my best friends died. I then started to cry uncontrollably and kept thinking how I couldn't save her, how it's my fault, how I need to save everyone, how I need to become a hero.
How you needed to become a hero. Okay, so again, dreams about the death of a loved one, even if it's just a dream, it can be really distressing. Like, you wake up and kind of like you know? It's important to know that the dreams aren't literal or predictive. Like, it's literally just your own mind. It's all a projection of you, not about this person. The fact that you felt guilty and responsible for your friend's death kind of suggests to me that you have a strong desire to protect and care. Like, you protect and care about the people that are close to you. Your subconscious mind might just be telling you that you're a caring and responsible person. You want to help others. However, it's important to also recognize that you cannot control everything, okay? You want to be the hero, you don't necessarily have to be the hero. You might not even be able to be a hero. But that's who you are. The emotions you felt in your dream are reflections of your feelings, maybe of like helplessness, frustration, in situations where you feel like you can't help somebody you care about, and your brain's just kind of like show that to you in a way. You have a desire to be a hero, protect those you care about, but just remember your own limitations in a way. Like, don't blame yourself for things that are completely out of your control. It also might be a good idea to talk to somebody you know and trust just about these feelings and concerns. Maybe not the friend, because it might freak them out about you dreaming about them dying, but maybe, I don't know your guys' relationship. It might be a nice conversation to have just to kind of help you work through that a little bit more and help you feel more empowered and like get control in your life.
At Brooke Pearson. It started with me, my stepmom, and my dad in a car. I tend to dream about my dad's side of the family more than my mom's, which is weird since I'm almost always at my mom's. All of a sudden, we were in a car crash and my dad died. Why? But everyone else was fine. The rest of the dream was me missing my dad, but also thinking it was weird that I wasn't like traumatized or anything by the crash since it was pretty bad. It ended with me watching a YouTube video by him. Why does he have a YT channel? Ick, and reminiscing his existence.
Okay, so cars represent feelings of independence, while car crashes suggest that you're trying to reach a goal, but feeling overwhelmed and like it might be too high to obtain. And that doesn't make much sense at first, but that's literally just like what the dreams have been said to represent. But the fact that you dreamt about your dad dying in a car crash suggests that you might have some unresolved feelings and concerns about him and your relationship with him. I'm gonna be honest, I've had a lot of dreams about like my mom dying. I haven't talked to my mom in 10 years. So like I know for myself, like when that happens, it's like me just trying to figure out like what to do in that scenario. It's possible that you just have some anxiety, worries about the safety of safety of the well-being of your family members. I can't talk to you guys. I'm really sorry. Including your dad. Interesting that you said that you have car crash dreams more on your dad's side than your mom's side, which is interesting. The fact that like you said you weren't traumatized by the car crash indicates that you're resilient. You're able to cope with difficult situations, even though it's a dream. Like when you're dreaming, you don't know it's a dream, like because those things are like just really unexpected and challenging. But it just sounds like your brain is trying to come to terms with the idea of loss and grief. And you said that you watched a YouTube video. You and your dad watched a YouTube video and reminisced about his existence, suggesting that you're trying to hold on to the memories, but your dad is still alive. Maybe I don't like giving like unsolicited advice, but maybe just go talk to your dad. Tell him you love him. The dream may just be a way for. I feel like I'm learning so much about you guys.
At nighties_s. I just know I'm under a lot of stress when I dream about my teeth falling out. It starts with me noticing that if I push my tongue against a tooth really hard I can somewhat move it. And I can't leave it alone for some reason and just keep waggling at it until it's loose and I can pull it out. From that point, anywhere I touch my tongue to my teeth they just fall out and I spit them into the sink and pick them out my mouth while sobbing all horrified. The worst thing about this is I had to have 4 molars removed when I was young, so my body remembers what loosening teeth feel like, what fresh blood in my mouth feels and tastes like and what freshly exposed gums feel like, so it very expertly projects all that into my nightmare. I have my own strong suspicions on what this dream means and I believe it is a common theme for stress dreams. Curious to know what your interpretation is.
Okay, so you're right. You're right. Dreaming about teeth falling out is a sign of stress. I've gone through it, and I know that I'm stressing out too if I start like dreaming about that. So in general, that is correct. It's associated with a feeling of powerlessness and a loss of control, anxiety. You could be worried about your appearance or communication skills, just personal strength. But since you have a personal experience with having your teeth removed, you might be having these dreams because of that. You know, it's like more strongly linked with your like real life experiences and fears. It also could be a sense of like vulnerability and fear related with dental health. Like a lot of people are scared of the dentist. I don't know if you are, but it could be symbolic of that. And the fact that you're pushing your teeth with your tongue in the dream may suggest like a compulsion or obsession a little bit, like you're pushing forward. I know I had to get a mouth guard for a while because I was grinding my teeth because I was so stressed. But yeah, in general, it just kind of means there's some anxiety or pressure around it. I don't even know why the teeth falling out thing is linked to stress, but we know that so many people have talked about that and it was linked to stress, that it's like that. Just a feeling of powerlessness, anxiety. It might be helpful to just reflect on like what is actually stressing you out in life and just explore that, because you already know. Like you kind of said it yourself. Like, I know I'm stressed. You're stressed. I hope you figure that out.
At Bitter Sitter. Once had a dream where I tried to ride a drone, but I ended up falling off it and hurting my neck, and when I woke up my neck hurt. Wild dream for sure.
Okay, I had to look this one up. There's no deeper meaning behind the drone specifically, but dreaming about flying represents a desire for freedom or an escape or just a need to rise above a certain situation or problem. But the fact that you fell off the drone and hurt your neck in the dream could symbolize that you have even though you want it, there's a little bit of fear and like risk taking. Also, the dream did not cause your neck pain. You probably already had neck pain and it seeped its way into your dream, you know? Because dreams aren't premonitions. They don't like cause anything. Like, it's yourself. So it probably just intensified the emotions during the dream. But yeah, it could just be related to any fears that you have, even though like you want to go and explore like new possibilities. but you're scared of the consequences.
At Pipsane. Perfect timing. I had a dream that was pretty confusing recently, but then again, what dreams aren't? The setting was an insanely large, multi-story, concrete building. Nothing in the building, completely empty, no people. Bare walls, bare floors, bare ceiling, no stairs or windows either, just rectangular holes marking where they should be. A skeleton of a building. Next to the building, right outside practically touching the building, was a large public pool full of people. I find myself casually walking right in the middle of these two structures. After a few seconds of strolling, it starts to feel as if the gravity of the earth drastically weakens. It starts to fluctuate between normal and weaker. I can barely make one stride forward. My feet are pretty much useless, the same feeling when you suddenly need to run in a dream but can't. So I lean sideways and stumble into the concrete building. For some reason I decide to flap my arms the same way a bird would flap its wings. And it works. I'm suddenly able to hover lightly in the air and propel myself through the air. It's a very strange feeling, my body feels torn between wanting to stay on the ground and wanting to hover. There's an invisible tether keeping me from flying higher. I'm able to feel this on an emotional and physical level in the dream. I can only fly higher if I'm near the walls of the building. I start exploring the inside of the building by using the rectangular holes for the stairs to get to different floors. Eventually I get lost and feel like I'm going in circles. Suddenly, out of one of the holes in the wall, two boys, maybe 10 to 11 years old, fall into the room that I'm in. They're wrestling pretty aggressively and one of them clearly wants it to stop. I float over and, without thinking, push one of them back out of the hole, ending the fight. In this instant I find a hole that leads outside and float out.
Okay, so dreams are just a reflection of your current state of mind. And again, take my analysis with a grain of salt here, but the empty concrete pool could represent a feeling of emptiness or a void in your life, but the pool being full of people could symbolize the idea of even when you're surrounded by people, you still feel alone or disconnected from them. The fluctuating gravity might represent unpredictability, instability in the current situation of emotions, because like if it was stable, the gravity would be the same, you know? The feeling of being torn away, like wanting to stay on the ground, but also wanting to hover could indicate a conflict between like how you're feeling, you know, because it's not the same. You want to explore new opportunities while also like wanting to feel grounded. The ability to fly with your arms like a bird represents the same like I said before, a desire for freedom, a need to escape your situation, and being tethered, keeping you from flying could symbolize that there's a limit or an obstacle preventing you, but that could just be in your own mind. There might not be anything actually like stopping you from achieving your goals. The boys wrestling and the fight that you ended may represent a conflict or a tension in your own life that you're trying to resolve, and your instinct to intervene and stop the fight can mean that you're like trying to restore peace or balance in your life. I'm really like going in on here trying to like analyze the fuck out of you without even knowing you, and I hope I'm right. Like tell me if I'm wrong, please. But like overall, the dream as I'm interpreting it is a message from your subconscious mind that you are feeling stuck or lost in your current situation, but you have the ability to overcome the obstacles and find a way out. It's all about you getting past like your own mental walls, you know? Go explore new opportunities, find the fulfillment, and find your own purpose in life.
At Joey9945. Quite a few of my dreams have a recurring theme where I'm back in high school, except I'm my current age and nobody bats an eye that I'm going back to their classes after 10 plus years. Also, one dream had read from GMM as my algebra teacher.
Okay, reoccurring dreams about being back in high school. I can relate. I have those all the time. It's symbolic of a feeling of nostalgia, regret, unresolved issues that you had in that period of life. So maybe explore that a little bit. Like just like revisiting those times in your dreams is a way for your brain to try and process and come to terms with any emotions or experiences that you had in the past. And the fact that you're your current age in the dream and not like high school age, and nobody seems to question it, just to me sounds like you want to reconnect with your younger self and relived aspects of your youth, but also like you're kind of stuck in the past a little bit, and like you're reluctant to move forward. That's kind of what it sounds like. I would recommend just try embracing the present. And the fact that you're dreaming about Rhett from Good Mythical Morning, who, by the way, I have met in real life. He's a beautiful man. You're imagining him as your algebra teacher. It could simply just be a reflection of the fact that you're probably watching too many of their videos, like, because your brain is just processing like recent memories. So it could just be a manifestation of your desire to have an authority figure who's knowledgeable and trustworthy, and Rhett is, so.
At Damien Tedro 3218. One threw a huge party at my house for hundreds of people. The house was a huge 5-story warehouse, with game rooms, a giant pool, an enormous dance hall, and bars everywhere. It was an epic party. Everyone was dressed to the nines and laughing. You should have been there.
Well, thank you for the belated invite to your dream party. Dreaming about parties or social events usually represent a desire for social interaction, but like the size of it means that you really want to have some sort of social interaction, enjoyment, a celebration, fun, excitement in your life, or maybe you're just trying to like break free from this boring like routine that is life. It could also represent a sense of wanting abundancy, luxury, a desire for great wealth and success. It also could mean that you need to connect with others and build new relationships, let loose, have fun a little bit, stop worrying about the consequences. Like you threw a whole dream party. Go throw an actual party. I think that's what your dream is trying to tell you. Go have a goddamn party, okay? Like, if you want to understand your mind, I think that's what it's trying to say right there.
At Antisocial Charlie 7055. Most of my dreams are incomprehensible messes, but I do remember one that I had where I legit woke up in tears. I remember it being something about my parents putting me up for adoption for basically no reason. They just decided they didn't want me anymore, I guess. Genuinely wonder what that could mean.
Okay, so dreams about being abandoned or rejected by loved ones, such as your parents, can be very emotionally intense. It could leave a very strong impression, which is probably why you remembered it. And you're like, what the hell is that about? It kind of just means that you have some feelings of insecurity, maybe fear of losing somebody important to you. There's a sense of vulnerability there, and possibly this dream is related to the fear of you losing your parents or your sense of belonging. It sounds like it's just a manifestation of any anxieties or worries that you have about your relationships with your parents or others. I would say maybe just reflect on your current life circumstances and the relationships you do have. Be honest about how you truly feel about them, and just try to come up with any concerns that you might have contributing to those and talk about it with those family members or a therapist or just a trusted friend, just to try and like gain insight on the emotions so you can work through those underlying issues.
At MK_Vivo. One had a dream where I was in a room with people I didn't know, but cared about a lot for no reason in the dream. Scary people kept coming into the room to take people away one by one until eventually they were all gone and it was just me in the room. That's where it ended and I'll never know why it happened.
Okay, so dreams involving unknown people usually mean that there is some part of you that is unresolved or unknown to yourself, like your own emotions. The people in your room could represent parts of yourself and relationships in your life that you care about deeply, and the scary people walking in and just taking people one by one could symbolize some sort of fear or anxiety you have about losing the people important to you. It sounds like it's a reflection of your sense of vulnerability and powerlessness, as you're just watching these people that you in your life get taken away from you, but like you didn't really know them either at the same time. It's possible that you're just scared about people, like losing people. That's kind of what it sounds like. A fear of being alone, maybe. That's something I've really had to been working through, is like, why am I so afraid of being alone? But just remember that this is just a dream interpretation. Dreams are highly personal, and only the true meaning can be found through you. I'm kind of just trying to help guide you in the right direction, but if that sounds right, cool. How did I get another thing in my hand to play with? Jesus Christ.
At Ariantia. One quite frequently have apocalyptic or zombicalized dreams, which usually involve running from / fighting various dangers, human, alien / monsters, or undead depending on the type of apocalypse, sometimes finding a good base and helping other survivors, other times having to keep moving to try find somewhere safe, to varying degrees of success. In the bad ones I tend to character hop, so if I'm about to get killed I nope out of there and am someone else instead.
I've had a few apocalypse dreams lately, and what I can tell you about that is it just represents fear, anxiety of the unknown. Maybe there's something in your life that's changing drastically. There's a sense of impending doom in your real life, and so it's like seeping into your dream life. Again, it's just like a need to survive. The tendency that you said to character hop might reflect a desire to distance yourself from the danger or anxiety. Like maybe you're a little bit avoidant. You have some fear taking responsibility. I don't know you, but maybe. Overall, it kind of just sounds like you need to reflect on any sources of anxiety that you have and stress in your waking life, because that is exactly what is triggering these kind of dreams. If you want to stop the scary dreams, you gotta face the scary things in real life.
At Gaming01. I had a fever dream about 4 years ago where I vividly remember being in the middle of space with the only objective being cleaning up a space scrapyard. It was physically exhausting trying to lift each piece of sheet metal and a bunch of other huge metal objects. Every time I woke up I would physically move around in my bed, still in the dream. This went on for what seemed like 6 hours and I literally couldn't snap out of it. Definitely one of the most excruciating dream experiences of my life.
Okay, so fever dreams are a little bit different. They're literally just your brain trying to, I don't even know the right word to say this. It's your brain trying to deal with the fact that it's really fucking hot. The high temperature, the physical sensations associated with being sick, it's trying to like manage that rather than it being some sort of like deeper psychological issue. That being said, the theme of physically exhausting work in the dream could be that you're overwhelmed over work in your actual life, and the fact that you didn't just like snap out of it how you would in a normal dream kind of just sounds like you feel stuck in that situation of being overwhelmed and overworked. But also, again, dreams are highly subjective, and they vary from person. How did I get this again? Vary from person to person, but it does just sound like a crazy fever dream. Those ones, they're absolutely wild.
At @SharkQueen_5. I had a dream where I had essentially adopted this kid half my age as my child. And my kid and I, and this guy I know are all running from people and something in this post-apocalyptic world, and having to survive by traveling around and staying in abandoned houses. I remember feeling terrified when my kid got separated from me and the guy we are with. And I was trying to find my kid again while they were trying to find me. One odd thing that I remember is that the guy that I was with, he changed person halfway through the dream. And I didn't even notice until after I woke up. Both of them were guys that I know though.
Okay, so dreams about caring for like a child or another person often just represent a sense of wanting to be nurturing, a sense of wanting responsibility, or that you have responsibility of taking care of something important in your life. The post-apocalyptic thing, that whole setting indicates that there's a feeling of instability in your life, uncertainty. Who's calling me right now? Please don't. There's the apocalypse, you feel unstable in your life, but you also want a sense of responsibility is kind of what I'm getting from that. You're running from danger, trying to survive. You're staying in abandoned houses may symbolize you feel vulnerable and you want to feel protected. The changing person in your dream also represents a shift in your perspective or change in the life situation. The person, you said that you knew them. It probably has nothing to do with that person and more so how you perceive that person. What is it about this person that you relate to? Because that's probably what it's representing more so than it just being like this person that you know. But it kind of just sounds like you have a desire for security, protection, stability, and you also just you might need to just go take care of something important.
At Sketching Daily. The weirdest dream I had wasn't that it was weird, but how vividly I remember it is. Anyway, I went sliding down this huge wooden slide into a wooden deck. Then a bunch of random people met me there and were like, welcome and stuff. Surrounding the wooden platform were a bunch of blue and pink houses and green and blue kiosks. Oh, and by the way, this was like 3 years ago and I still remember it even though nothing really happens that was even memorable. Try and decipher that.
Okay, so the general themes and symbols that I'm seeing coming out in your dream would be the vivid wooden slide arriving on a wooden deck represents like a new beginning. That's kind of a stretch here. I'm really trying, guys. New beginning, change in your life. The fact that a group of people, though, like welcomed you and greeted you symbolizes that you have this sense of community or support in this new venture. New beginning, new people. The blue and pink houses, the green and blue kiosk could represent a feeling of order and structure in your life. Each color may have a different meaning. I can't really specifically say what the meaning of the color is because, again, colors kind of mean different things to different people. But I would say the dream is trying to tell you to embrace new experiences, seek out support and guidance into those experiences to navigate the changes. Yeah, I wish you luck with that.
At some_random 1 dav ago, edited. TW, this is a very long read, and reading this can cause anxiety in some, please be careful. I've been dreaming about the creatures of Appalachia recently. And on an insanely sleepless night, I fell asleep extremely paranoid that someone was gonna break into my room. I live next to the woods and I heard noises. After I fall asleep, I wake up, this is the dream to clarify, and hearing all sorts of knocks and voices around me. My vision is blurry and my body is swaying as I leap out of my bed laughing maniacally. Batshit crazy person, I whip open my bedroom door, and sprint across my house screaming I have to see what happens. And fling open my front door and stand right outside of it on my doorstep. Okay, you need more context to visualize this so I'll give it to you. Across the street from my house is 2 houses that are off to the side and not directly across, so there's a huge grass patch that runs straight back to more woods, and there are also some trees to me left. Normally, these woods are thick and dark, not there was 1 row of trees and a dark red glowing haze behind them. Now, the urban legend says if you see them, no you didn't, and to not interact or look at them at all. I saw tons of black shadow figures floating and running across with glowing red eyes, and I stared them down. 2 black figures stopped and stared back, and there was this weird white set of eyes and a mouth floating like a face smiling, and it looked terrifying. Its pupils were super small, and it did not look human. Meanwhile these sounds and screams are still taking place, and I, being the intellectual I am, just decide to scream at the top of my lungs to get their attention. Everything goes silent. And the creatures disappear. As soon as the face disappears, it reappears directly in front of my and starts flashing. Every time it flashes, it makes the sound that Slenderman makes in the game when he tries to kill you. This goes on for about 3 seconds, and I suddenly realize I am aware I'm dreaming but not fully aware. I subconsciously say let's return to a sense of normalcy. Slowly and calmly close my eyes, and when I slowly and calmly open them up, I'm just in my bed, awake, laying on my side like nothing happened and everything is dead silent. I literally say wow, that was crazy. And proceed to scroll on TikTok until I feel safe enough to try sleeping again. Lastly, may I add that this was a 10 to 15 second long dream. All that shit happened in such a small time frame. Sorry for the long read, but I hope you choose me and are very entertained. This should give you some pretty good discussion material. 3.
Oh my gosh, okay. I actually really liked that you gave me so much detail in this dream. But the answer is probably going to be a lot shorter than the dream itself. I would say that your subconscious mind is expressing feelings of fear and anxiety around these dangers, especially like you said, you live near the woods, like there's probably some anxiety there around that. The presence of these shadowy figures with like red eyes, urban legend warning against interactions with them, symbolizes the fear of the unfamiliar, and the white faces with small pupils of non-human like looking representation figures in your dream sounds like you having like feelings about being watched, of something unknown. Maybe there's something potentially dangerous. The flashing and sound effects symbolize again just fear and anxiety around this experience. But okay, your decision to scream at the creatures means that there's a desire to face these anxieties and fears head on, which is really good. Like sounds like you're kind of confrontational, or you want to be confrontational. And the fact that these creatures disappeared, ran away after the fact, after you did confront them head on, means that it, like, whatever these creatures symbolize in your actual life, if you just confront it, it's gonna work out for you. There's gonna be some sort of resolution there. And the phrase, let's return to a sense of normalcy, your subconscious mind is probably just trying to return to a state of comfort and safety rather than like trying to suppress these fears. Like, don't run away from the fears, confront and face it head on. But yeah, again, I feel like that was good. Again, I don't know you, but from the dream itself, it kind of just sounds like you need to explore the feelings and figure out what it is exactly that you're afraid of, and just fucking fight it anyway, because it's gonna work out in your favor that way. I hope doing that helps you become more like secure and comfortable in your environment. Alright guys, that was actually really fun for me. I got this idea because I was having some really weird dreams during this whole breakup thing, and like analyzing them really helped me like understand more about what I was feeling and like unwilling to actually think about. So it was really cool to like learn about your guys' dreams. If you're watching this video and you want me to analyze your dream, the absolute highest chance possible of being in the next video is to make a video telling me about your dream and then tag Get Horizontal over on TikTok. I'll put it up how to spell it. It's with 3 Z's right there. If you don't want to make a video and you kind of just want to tell me about your dream, the comment section down below is there. I'll be picking out some good ones and doing it just like this again, because again, this was really fun. But yeah. Love you guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to drop a like. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe. We are almost at 5 million subscribers. 5 million. That is absolutely crazy. Okay, I appreciate y'all. I hope you sleep well, and I'll see you next time.